The Indiana Hoosiers are one of the biggest brands in college basketball history, but like UCLA, they have completely fallen off since the turn of the century and have looked especially mediocre over the past few seasons. Bob Knight is one of the top coaches of all time, but ever since he was kicked out of Bloomington, the Hoosiers just haven't been the same. If you want to know the entire history of Indiana basketball, check out my video I did with Cole Adams about the downfall of the program, but this video today isn't about sadness of being a Hoosiers basketball fan, this is about why they could be on their way back. Archie Miller came over from Dayton and has slowly begun to turn the program around. His team had a complete meltdown in the 2019 season with Romeo Langford, but the 2020 Hoosiers were well on their way to making it back to the tournament before COVID-19 canceled the season and the tournament. Going into the 2021 season, the squad is anchored by former blue-chip recruit and future first-round NBA draft pick Trayce Jackson Davis, and Miller finally has the weapons to potentially make a run at the Big Ten crown. But first, college basketball videos do not typically do well on YouTube, so please be sure to smash that like button, drop a comment, and show your support so I can continue to make college basketball content every now and then. Give me another topic I should do, and let me know your thoughts on today's video. Turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload of mine, and let's get started and talk about why Indiana basketball could be back. After Kelvin Sampson drove the program into the ground, Tom Crean came in, rebuilt the program, and got them back to being title contenders in 2013. They were number 1 seed with Cody Zeller and Victor Oladipo, but they underachieved and lost to Syracuse in the Sweet 16. The fan base called for his head after that, and the overarching theme of the Crean era was underachievement. With players such as Thomas Bryant, Noah Vonleh, Yogi Ferrell, OG Anunoby, and Troy Williams coming in during the years prior, the best he had to show for was a surprise Sweet 16 run in the 2016 NCAA tournament. After starting out really hot with top 5 wins over North Carolina and Kansas, the Hoosiers completely fell apart and Tom Crean was fired after the season. But he will be remembered for somewhat saving the program, winning 3 Big Ten titles, and the famous Christian Watford buzzer beater shot to knock off number 1 Kentucky. So, who is going to be the next coach to come in and try and save the program? Well, his name was Archie Miller. He came from Dayton, and it was regarded as the best hire of the 2017 offseason by many people. He brought in a 4-man recruiting class that included 4-star recruits Justin Smith and Race Thompson, plus 3 stars Al Durham and Clifton Moore. The 2018 season didn't have a lot of expectations, and that's just how it played out. Juwan Morgan was by far the best player on the team, and Robert Johnson was a solid second option, but it wasn't enough for them to get to the tournament, even though the Big Ten was extremely weak that year. Going into the 2019 season, the hype returned as Archie brought in a highly decorated class of homegrown stars, which included 4-star recruits Rob Finney, Demezy Anderson, and Jerome Hunter, plus 5-star high school sensation Romeo Langford. Many thought Indiana was back, but this team had a lot of growing pains. They tried to bring in St. Mary's transfer Evan Fitzner for shooting, but he was a bust. Romeo and Juwan became the 2 best players on the team, and they were ranked number 25 for their matchup with Butler. At one point in the season, they were ranked as high as number 17. The height of Hoosier hysteria came after they beat Marquette, and then a few weeks later when freshman guard Rob Finney hit a circus shot to beat Butler in the Crossroads Classic game, and this sent the program into an absolute frenzy. Unfortunately though, it would all come crashing down as they would later lose 12 of 13 games at one point, including a loss to Rutgers and Northwestern. They knocked off number 6 Michigan State twice and beat a really good number 22 Wisconsin team at the buzzer, and they got themselves back in the tournament hunt, but they were still on the wrong side of the bubble. They had a chance to secure their bid with a win over Ohio State, a fellow bubble team in the Big Ten tournament, but they'd lose a close game and had to settle for the NIT. The fan base called for Archie's head at times, but in my opinion, the expectations were too high for the team. There was a lot of flaws that no one wanted to talk about, and they just weren't that good yet. But that 12 of 13 game losing skid was absolutely unacceptable. Romeo and Juwan Morgan were now gone, so many wondered what the team was going to do next. Archie brought in a 3-man class that included 5-star recruit Trayce Jackson Davis, borderline 4-star recruit Armaan Franklin, and former 4-star Butler transfer Joey Brunk. They were expected to be okay, but there was not a lot of national hype around the team. Archie's seat was kind of warm. They started out great with a cupcake schedule, but proved they were a legit team when they upset Florida State by 18, a team that would end up finishing number 4 in the country and won the ACC. The team was super balanced with Trayce Jackson Davis, Devontae Green, Justin Smith, and Al Durham all scoring near 10 points a game a night, but they were missing something. The offense wasn't amazing, and they just couldn't put up a ton of points. They did enough in a stacked Big Ten to get to a 20-12 record. Combining that with their very weak non-conference schedule, some would say they didn't exactly belong. But they had wins over number 11 Michigan State, number 9 Penn State, number 17 Florida State, number 11 Ohio State, and number 21 Iowa. So many thought they were destined to be on that 9 to 11 seed line, and Archie was finally going to get in the tournament. The only thing that could stop them is literally something world-changing. They had beaten Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament, but this was the night that Fred Hoiberg got sick and almost passed out on the sidelines, and COVID took over the world, and everyone became fearful. This was the last Big Ten game of the year, and the last game of the Hoosiers season. This was absolutely heartbreaking and just not fair to the players as the NCAA tournament was canceled, but as we all know, COVID was an unknown at the time. I do honestly think they should have postponed the tournament and not canceled it, because they could have easily figured something out over the summer, and I know every single player would have waited till then. It's not like they had anything else to do anyways. So why exactly is there so much hype for the Hoosiers going into the 2021 season if they were just projected to be a 10 or 11 seed last year? Well, they bring back almost everyone. Their recruiting class includes 5-star recruit Christian Lander, 4-star recruit Jordan Geronimo, and high 3-star recruits Trey Galloway and Anthony Leal. Lander is an eventual NBA kid, and Geronimo is a guy who many around the program are comparing to OG Anunoby and are saying he is an athletic freak. Galloway is a solid player who plays 3-and-D, and Anthony Leal can flat out shoot the ball. Both of these guys will be 4-year players, and guys that the program will remember. Trayce Jackson Davis could have a monster sophomore year, and is a dark horse candidate to win Big Ten Player of the Year, but he's going to have to beat out Luka Garza, which will be very difficult, and Ayo Dosunmu. Archie Miller apparently told Trayce that if he was going to return for his sophomore year, he needed to play at an All-American level. So let's see what happens with him this year. This is the most complete team Archie Miller has had, and they only have one guy who wasn't actually recruited by him, and they are finally all Archie's kids. They do need to work on shooting the ball though, and figure out who the second option will be, but I think they'll be fine. Jerome Hunter's the kind of guy that many are expecting to break out this year, has an NBA body and skill set, and veterans such as Rob Finney, Al Durham, and Joey Brunk should help the team and the locker room. The point guard position finally looks good with Rob Finney healthy, and blue chip recruit Christian Lander coming in, and that is something that has plagued Indiana teams over the past few years. I am definitely biased because I'm an IU basketball fan, but I think this is the most complete Indiana team in a while, and the best one under Archie Miller for sure. But let me know what you guys think. If you're an IU basketball fan, let me know your projection for the season, and what you think of the program in general. If you're not an Indiana Hoosiers fan, let me know what you think too, and let me know another topic I can do. Because college basketball videos don't typically do well, be sure to give the video a like, share it with your friends, comment, subscribe if you're new, and check out all my other college basketball videos. There will definitely be more in the future. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.